things out of here. What's going on, guys? Cameron here, Canadian Gamer. Got off work rather early today, so I have to go up to the dealership here and drop off a set of plates that I'm repurposing for the vehicle that I'm picking up on Thursday. But I'm gonna go over to the pawn shop as well. I'm gonna see if they have a Wii remote, and hell, see if they have any games. Haven't game hunted in a while either, so it should be fun. Stay tuned.
Down at the old Howard's pawn shop, PlayStation, Wii, Xbox, oh yeah.
Alright, so I managed to pick up a little bit of a Wii oddity at the Hawk shop, the pawn shop if you will. Thought it might be something nice for the collection, nice little oddity piece, but I looked it up on eBay. It's not really worth a whole lot, but that doesn't matter, it's just the fun of it. So before I head out of town, I'm going to go to one more thrift store, and then we'll call it a day. Stay tuned. That was really bizarre. What I'll do, I'm gonna actually go back to the games room and it'll take a few minutes to explain what went down in the thrift store. So stay tuned. Oh man, what have I got myself into? What have I gotten myself into? I'm headed back to the thrift store. I'm gonna see if that PS3 is still there. I had some time to sort of think about it after the fact. And you know, if it is a fully functional PS3 Fat Boy model, you know, to be able to have the functionality of being able to play your PS2 and your PS1 games via HDMI on a modern TV, I think it is worth it. For $25 plus I got a 20% off coupon, so you're talking about $20 for a fat model's PS3, which is a highly sought after model these days if it's working. And you know what I'll do? You know, like I said, it's pretty scratched up. I'll just get a nice skin for it, and I'll turn it into a nice little project. So it doesn't come with a controller, but that's okay. There are adapters you can get online that allow you to hook up your PS2 controller. So that's the plan. You know, if I drive all the way into the city and that fat model PS3 is not there, I'm gonna be f***ing pissed. If it is there, I'm not gonna go hog wild collecting for the PS3. I might get, you know, those what are those games called? Uncharted. You know, I might get those because they're fairly cheap. I see them at Value Village all the time for like $5, $6. But that's it. I'm not gonna go crazy with PS3. That's what I say for now. So anyways, guys, I'm en route. Let's see how this turns out. Stay tuned. Okay, so here's basically what happened. The PS3 Fat model was actually still at the thrift store. The problem is I took the console and I hooked it up to see if it actually worked. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but the console turned on and then the light went yellow. So I think that's what is commonly referred to as the yellow ring of death, which is quite common on the PS3 model, especially the Fat model. So, I'm not buying it. I don't want to take a chance on that. $25 doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it is when the console doesn't work. So it's crazy. The pawn shop had a mint pristine Fat model PS3. We're talking you could eat off of it, and they're asking like $100 for it. So it wasn't meant to be. Not the end of the world. I'm gonna hit up one more thrift store, and then I'm gonna head home and call it a day. Stay tuned. All right, so that was a complete bust. There wasn't anything in that thrift store as well. I feel like, I don't know, I'm really salty about that PS3 situation, so I might go to one more pawn shop, one that I've talked about before on this channel that I absolutely can't stand. The guy is a complete asshole. I'm reaching far. I might go in there and just have a quick look before I head home because I don't want to leave empty-handed on this video. It's depressing. So let's go check out the other Hawk shop, and then hopefully I don't punch the guy in the face, and then we'll call it a day. Stay tuned. Alright, so the pawn shop is absolutely closed, shut down, evicted, notice of eviction on the window. Go figure. So let's head back to the games room for real this time. I'm not just saying it. And let me go ahead and show you what I picked up, and we'll finally wrap this video up. Stay tuned. All right, we're back in the games room. We'll try to wrap this up quickly here. Beer of the day. Tough times, man. COVID second wave. Non-alcoholic beer today. Yeah. Going with the amber non-alcoholic, so we'll let that sit. So, yeah, before we get started on showing you my pickups, I did want to mention as well, just briefly, there's a guy out there, not worth mentioning his name, but he posted a video recently. And he kind of took a jab at channels that sometimes post gameplay footage, and it's like old school, where you've got your camcorder or your phone in front of the TV and you're filming like a live shot. And he said something to the effect like, well, you know, if you were to set up a super chat or a Patreon, maybe you could afford a capture card. Like, I just think that's an asinine statement. Like, it's don't assume that just because someone's not using a capture card, it doesn't mean that they're broke as a joke. It couldn't be any further from the truth. I could get a capture card, but to be honest with you, number one, this is just a hobby channel, so I don't really see the point of that. And the second thing as well, I kind of like the way it looks when you film from like over the shoulder view. If you're on the couch playing a game and you got shot at the TV, I don't do it too much, but I might start doing it, because at least there you still got the human interaction where I could turn around and talk to you while I'm playing a game and sort of pause the game or whatever it is I'm doing in front of the TV. So I might start shooting videos like that occasionally, maybe sort of talk about some of my more favorite games that I have. I think it would be really interesting to do. Again, I have nothing against capture cards. I know my buddy at Dads and Lads Gaming, Marcus, uses one, and he's really good at you know, putting the pieces together as far as video production is concerned, and his videos look really slick when he does it. But yeah, for me, I think I'll just keep it old school, and like I said, put the camera on a tripod behind the couch and shoot towards the TV. I just like the human element, and I feel like that kind of gets lost a bit whenever you use a capture card, because it kind of cuts off that realism of having the human body there, if that makes sense. So we'll see. I thought that was kind of a shallow statement, just a kind of a blanket statement, if you will, to throw that out there and just assume because someone's not using a capture card, it means that they can't afford one. I thought it was kind of ridiculous. So let me show you the pickups here, and then we'll wrap this video up. So I go into the thrift store. I'm going to try to go slowly so I don't forget what I'm trying to say. I go into the thrift store, and it's really busy. There's a lineup. I'm like, what the hell? And sure enough, it was Senior Tuesdays, so that's why it was busy. There's a bunch of seniors in there, of course. And I go right up to the jewel case, because that's where they keep all the primo stuff. And I swear to God, like, I hit the jackpot. I go in there, and of course they have that nice PS3 that I was talking about earlier. Unfortunately, it didn't work. And they had The Simpsons Hit and Run for not only the PS2, but they had it for the original Xbox. Those are chase pieces for those systems. Those are games you do not see in the wild very often, especially for the original Xbox. Now, they had them priced accordingly. They were asking $30 a piece, so I passed on that. And then they had Split Second. I've been looking for that racing game, Split Second. Here, I'll show you a picture of it. I've been looking for that for the better part of a year. I can't seem to find it anywhere. So my jaw drops. I'm like, as if Split Second is here. So I pick it up, and I go to the cash to pay for it. And I'm like, well, actually, let me just check the disc. I pop the disc out of the case, and sure as shit, it's all scratched to shit. So I'm like, oh, fuck me gently. So I didn't get Split Second. So what I ended up getting, what I did get, was I went back to like another shelf they have in the store where the games are a little bit more accessible, not behind a jewel case, and you can actually take a closer look at the games. And I passed this game up maybe 2 years ago, and when I had passed it up, it was the Greatest Hits variant, which is it's like a version 2.1 of this game. So it's Virtual Fighter 4 for the PlayStation. So when I say 2.1, basically when this game came out, it was a smash hit, and then over in the other regions, the greatest hits or the platinum hits, whatever you call it. It came out with the enhanced version, but in North America, the platinum hits or the greatest hits was they named it like a version 2.0 or whatever the case may be. So it is the, I guess you could say, the more enhanced version. But I have the black box edition here, and I couldn't believe it. I got the disc actually in my PlayStation, but there's no scratches on it whatsoever, and it's one of the earlier PS2 games. You can tell because it's a CD. It's not a DVD, as far as I'm mistaken. That's how it is. It's like a blue coating on the side of the disc. So the earlier PlayStation games, like I said, were CD-ROM based. They weren't DVD. So I put it in. A lot of people don't know I'm a huge fan of Virtual Fighter, and this game blew me away. Love it. I love playing as Jeffrey McWild. The graphics are super incredible for the PlayStation 2, and after I'm done shooting this video, I'm going to play some more of it tonight. The reason why I love Virtual Fighter so much is because it's accessible. You know, you don't have to be a genius to figure out a lot of the combos, whereas games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 2, I've always had a real hard time with those games. They're very difficult, and I just don't have the patience. Whereas Virtual Fighter, I've got a little bit more accessibility there, and it makes for a little bit more of an enjoyable experience for a casual fighting fan such as myself. So, I pick up Virtual Fighter 2, and then I work my way to the back of the store, and they have like a Nintendo Wii. They had an Xbox 360 arcade model. They even had the external, what was called HD DVD at the time that was competing with Blu-ray, and you could buy an external drive for the Xbox. They had one of those kicking around back there. And they had a PlayStation 2, and inside the PlayStation 2, I kid you not, you never see this, they had 2 memory cards, and they're the 8 megabyte cards, Sony branded. And what I did, I don't normally do this, but I took the memory cards out. No, I didn't steal them. I took them out of the PlayStation and I walked up to the front counter. And she's like, oh, there's no price on those. I'm like, yeah, there's no price. She's like, where'd you get them? I'm like, I got them in the back, out by the electronics. So they ended up slapping $4.99 stickers on them. They charged me $10 for 2 memory cards, which is still not a bad deal. It's just, it's funny because they were asking $15 for the console. So for an extra $5, I could have had another PlayStation 2, but I don't need another PlayStation 2, so I'll leave it there for the next person. I got the 2 memory cards, so I was really happy about that. And then as I'm shooting this video here, it just popped in my head, something else that I saw there, and I probably should have picked it up, but I was just sort of in a daze. They actually had the Red Dead Redemption 2, the strategy guide, the Prima strategy guide. It might have even been a hardcover, I'm not sure. I should have picked it up, I'm an idiot. It's probably gone now. Oh well. So that was there as well. So there's a lot of good games. Unfortunately, like I said, the PS3 fat model wasn't working. That would have been just a steal of a lifetime. So then I went over to the pawn shop, and I picked this up here, a little bit of an oddity. And that's Link's crossbow training for the Nintendo Wii. So back in the day, you'd buy this and you could get it with a crossbow, and it was like a kit. I think if you were to buy it, the whole kit now with the crossbow, probably nets you a good coin. But just the disc like this, this is probably worth, you know, $10 on eBay. I picked this up for $3.50, so it's a nice little keepsake. Pretty cool. Put that in the Wii collection. So that's it for the pickups. Like I said, we're kind of entering a second wave here in Canada for COVID. There's also talk there might be another lockdown. Ugh. I can't even imagine if that were to happen. But I've been so busy. I got called into work last night. I had to work a night shift, 7 at night till 7 in the morning, if you could believe it. So I got home today, and then I got cleaned up, took a shit shower and a shave. I ran out the door, and that's when I went back to the thrift store to try out that PS3. Now, also as well, something that's real cool to hear, Lawrence Dagstein reached out to me last night on Twitter, and he said, you won't believe it, I found a hidden gem at the store today, and I think it might pique your interest. So he found, I think he paid $4 for it, he found Cursed Mountain for the Nintendo Wii, and he knew that I had been looking for it. So Lawrence is actually going to be sending me Cursed Mountain. And Lawrence, I really appreciate it, man. I found that game a couple of months ago here in Canada, and they were asking close to $30 for it. So I can't thank you enough. That's what this is all about. These hobby channels and this community is, you know, not e-bagging, but, you know, looking out for one another. And if I see something out in the wild that I think might interest Lawrence or anyone else that I talk to on a regular basis, I'll definitely pick. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. I'll definitely pick it up and shoot someone a text or a message on Twitter and say, hey man, are you looking for this? And if so, you know, I'll send it out to you. So that's what it's all about. It's about the camaraderie. Is that the word? The friendship. And there are good things, you know. See, getting through all the toxicity on this platform, you dig through this wasteland that is the YouTube community, and there is some good to be had. So that's gonna do it. I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. Thanks so much for watching. You people are wonderful and beautiful. You take care.